The problem with tribute records is that, for the most part, they are cash grabs put together by artists and or record labels to draw attention to themselves by making you think that you're getting new material from the original band. You know, you get tribute to Led Zeppelin, or tribute to Tool, or tribute to Nine Inch Nails, or whatever, you know, and a lot of them happen to be very, very popular. Or tribute to the Beatles. And so tribute albums, to me, for the most part, have been laborious affairs where the renditions being performed are either incredibly unimaginative, uninspired, carbon copies of the original band's version, or are such trudgingly boring reimagining and deliberately obtuse reimagining of the original song that it's just unlistenable. So please understand why this has been sitting in my collection for almost 3 years. This is released in 2012. This is by famous Canadian jazz musician Michael Occhipinti and a wonderful group of musicians he's put together. This is The Universe of John Lennon, Shine On. So giving you that context, why has it taken me 3 years to get this? Because I really don't like tribute records. So a few weeks ago, I finally I moved myself to look at this again, and you know, this looks like a group of jazz musicians, which I figured it was, because you know, not because I'm a genius and I can read a book by its cover, but because, being a musician, quote unquote, myself, and having done jazz prep at Mohawk College a long, long time ago, it's not too hard for a musician to tell another musician, for the most part, and sort of tell what kind of genre they play in. Which, again, is not always right, but musicians have sort of like a radar for each other. So I opened it up, I took it out of the plastic wrap finally a few weeks ago, and I saw this picture, and I went, oh, hell no. No, putting it down, and I left it alone for at least a week, and then I said, finally, you know what, I want to listen to something I haven't heard yet, so I picked this up. And I said, you know what, sometimes, for me, the Beatles are great. Everything from Rubber Soul on is absolute gold, but sometimes you don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to the Beatles. I don't know what it is. It's not that I don't love them. You know, I love Let It Be. I love the White Album. I love these records. I love Abbey Road, but sometimes you just don't want to listen to the Beatles. But if you want to listen to the Beatles, but don't want to listen to the Beatles, bing, here comes a tribute record. So I threw it on, and Michael Occhipinti has put together a fantastic group of musicians, all of whom are very, very accomplished and deserve every bit of praise, just as much as the man in the forefront, Michael Occhipinti, and the for the most part, wonderful arrangements he's put together, reimagining Beatles songs as jazz standards almost. The problem with jazz, and bear with me here, because you know, while I haven't reviewed any jazz records thus far in this 48 episodes thus far, except for the 50th anniversary reissue of Miles Davis's Kind of Blue, please understand that I do have I wouldn't say extensive, but I do have a decent enough jazz collection for a guy who predominantly veers towards rock and roll and alt rock. And you're welcome to come over and check it out. No, you're not. You need an invitation first, a real invitation, and you need to bring a bottle of wine, and to be invited. You're like a vampire with wine. If you want in my house, those are the stipulations. I'm an idiot. So excuse me, please. It's allergy season for bizarre head voice talking I'm doing. This record, for me, wasn't saved, but is very much carried by the wonderful performances by two particular people amongst the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12 musicians on this record. Two of them really, really shine for me, and that wasn't meant to be a pun on the album title. Elizabeth Shepard lends her wonderful voice to a bunch of the tracks, And Mark Kelso makes me, as a drummer, extremely jealous. And just illustrates to me that if I spent more time practicing and less time, I don't know, if I spent more time practicing, then maybe I might be as good as Mark Shepard. Probably not. Nope, sorry, Mark Kelso. I keep getting Elizabeth Shepard and Mark Kelso's last names mixed up. Elizabeth Shepard is a Canadian chanteuse, singer, songstress who is pretty darn good. It's worth checking out. And Michael Occhipinti is a guitar player. He's a music director out in, I believe, out in Eastern Ontario. That covers it. Eastern Ontario is extremely large. So michaelocchipinti.com, and this album was released a couple of years ago on True North Records. TrueNorthRecords.com, not an endorsement, just saying check them out if you want more information or how you can pick this up yourself. If you like jazz, if you like the Beatles, if you are wondering what a good jazz reimagining of the Beatles would sound like, this is what it would sound like. And again, not every single song is a home run, but enough of them are that I do give this a strong recommendation. So there you go. Michael Occhipinti, The Universe of John Lennon, Shine On, featuring an array of wonderful musicians. This is definitely worth checking out. My name is Daryl. I have been your very nasal critic today. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me, maybe I've missed a good tribute record out there. Let me know if I've missed any good tribute records. And please don't mention the Kiss tribute record from 1994. That was terrible. Don't mention Acomnium by Led Zeppelin. That was also terrible for the most part. Give me something good. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about this idiot who seems to think that he has some sort of right to critique other people's music. I've been your critic. Go discover new music. Don't stop listening to music. And I'll see you soon with a new review.